Good morning. This was day 5, day 4 in the parks. We're at Hollywood Studios for today's video. We did park in the parking lot of Hollywood Studios, and little did we know that this day was going to take a turn. As it should, this one just reminds you of the Hollywood Strip. You had a lot of opportunities to shop, a lot of buildings that looked like old theaters, and then of course you kind of have your main street that leads down to the theater where they have their night show and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, I think is what it's called. As soon as we were able to get into the park, we went straight to the Star Wars area. As you can see, this little tunnel right up here. Once you go through that tunnel, you no longer feel like you're at Hollywood Studios. You feel like you are in the Star Wars universe. You are completely immersed. Our goal here was to get to Rise of the Resistance, which already had a line, but I will say this line never stopped. It was constantly in motion. So although it looked like it was going to be a long wait, it really wasn't, especially compared to other lines that we had already waited in.
Prep the ready room for recruits.
Welcome to the cause. May the force be with us.
One of the cool things about this ride is that it's not just a get on it and go for a ride and get off. This one has multiple parts. Right here you have this kind of little introduction scene, and then you are let out to what's like a spaceship. And then as you board this ship, once you go in, you are standing in a simulation. You'll see what I mean here in just a second, but if you go on this ride, go either to the front or all the way to the back here. You see this window? Yep, that's where your simulation is going. So I got to the back and I was able to pretty much see the simulation from the back, but there's also one from the front. Now that I think about it, this kind of ship that we're in for the first portion must have moved physically somehow, because in a second when you watch us leave to go to the second portion of the ride, we're in a completely different area. As you saw when we got on, we were kind of out in the open. When we get off, we're not. Once you depart from the simulation, they are going to take you to interrogation from the First Order. Yes, you can see all the stormtroopers lined up here, but this is kind of just for show. You're going to go to the right here where you will be interrogated. Once you get to this portion of the ride, this is when that infamous First Order attitude starts to come about from cast members. So just be aware.
How many?
4.
You'll be on orange.
Once you tell them how many people are with your party and you are assigned a color, make sure that you know which color you are assigned. That is going to be important very soon.
Is that clear?
Yes.
Good. If you have a bag on you, a backpack, a purse, a fanny pack, take it off now, hold it in your hand. Is that cool?
It is.
You want to be trapped in there for a long time?
That's cool.
I give you like 5 minutes.
You have what I want. You know the location of the secret base, and I will take it from you.
We are needed on the bridge.
Keep the prisoners here. I will return to finish this personally.
Thing I noticed about Disney, anytime you are required to have a seatbelt or harness of any sort, they are going to go person by person and make sure that each one is strapped in the way that they need to be. After Rise of the Resistance, we made our way over to, I think it was Smuggler's Run, and we went through kind of the shopping center. This is another detail-oriented part of Disney. This is where you are able to see the replica of the Millennium Falcon. wasn't able to record during Smugglers because it is another simulation and it's interactive, so I wasn't able to hold the phone and be interactive with the ride as well. We then had a reservation at the Garza Girl, so we went ahead and hooked the Skyliner from Hollywood Studios over to Epcot. I have to say, I really like this form of transportation. This was incredibly new to me. I've never been on this before, and I really liked it. Now, this gondola system is kind of like the monorail, where sometimes it's not a straight shot. You have to get off and then get on a different one. And on our second stretch of this one, I'm not really sure why, but we kind of stalled while in the sky. That could be a little weird. If you don't really like heights, then just kind of pay attention to something else. And I'm not gonna lie to you, when you are stalled like that, you're moving incredibly slowly, so the gondolas tend to kind of sway side to side. So just a heads up for you. When these gondolas were coming in, I swear it looked like we were gonna hit the person in front of us, but then it breaks at the last minute. And the same with the one behind us. Another benefit to the gondolas is that you can see some of the France Pavilion as you are going into Epcot, because they take you to the back of the park rather than to the front. After we finished at the Garza Girl, we went back to Hollywood, but right after we got off the gondolas, apparently they broke down and they had to evacuate everyone. So that was not an option to get back to Hollywood. Instead, we had to take this boat, which was kind of cool because you got to see the boardwalk, you got to see the Swan Hotel, and then it took you to Hollywood Studios. So again, another form of transportation. We got back to Hollywood Studios, we did have a lightning lane for the Beauty and the Beast show. I really enjoyed this show. You were in an outside amphitheater. It was full of music. It was a little cheesy, I'm not gonna lie, but it was pretty cute and I enjoyed it. The costumes in this play were impeccable. Do you see her dress? Something I just want to mention to you right here, right now. I did not like the dress in the live action movie. This dress and the dress used in the parade were both top tier. So much better than the one they used in the live action movie. This night I went and met with my cousin and his girlfriend at Oga's Canteen, and as you can tell, we're now in long sleeves. That is because this night the temperature decided to drop drastically. We were not expecting it, and let me just tell you, Disney made some money off of some jackets and some sweatshirts. After we left August, the park was pretty much deserted. As we were making our way to the exit, the streets only had pretty much cast members closing and working to close the park. It was actually kind of peaceful, just a little creepy, but it was really nice to see it without the hustle and bustle. This was day 5. Make sure that you go back and check out days 1 through 4 and then come back for day 6. Day 6 will be the last vlog. I hope that you've enjoyed this series with me. If you have continued through each video, let me know down below in the comments. If you haven't, then you have plenty of time to go back and catch up before the next episode. I hope to see you there.